So I've tried to record this review a few times, and I just honestly can't get the wording right on this. This film is fucking weird, man. It is a bizarre flick. So it's called Possum. It stars Sean Harris, and I just finished it maybe 10 minutes ago, and I came down here and I pressed record, and I think I started like fucking 10 different times, and I was like, not sure how the hell to word this flick. And I'm not sure how the hell to word this flick now. It's odd. It's bizarre. It's very bleak. Giving a synopsis, I'm not sure what to say, honestly. But I will say this. It's very unsettling. I don't think a lot of people will like this movie, but I personally loved it. It is freaky. I will try to give you a very brief synopsis. I also will say that this film doesn't have a lot of dialogue. It doesn't really have much of a narrative, honestly. It's just kind of like really creepy atmosphere, lots of nightmarish visuals. A lot of them are just kind of reoccurring. I do think a lot of people would think it was boring and it was just the same thing over and over again. I get it, obviously, since I'm saying it, but that's not how it worked for me. I thought every time that this thing kind of kept coming back and whatnot, it was just fucking freakier and freakier. So this guy, the fucking poster is awesome. And it kind of almost gives you a feeling of what this film is like in a way. It's just like that. It's very odd. It's off. But it's this guy, and he has a bag, and in this bag is a puppet, and he wants to get rid of this puppet, and he keeps just kind of trying to get rid of it, but keeps getting drawn back to it, or it keeps getting drawn back to him. And there's a very odd relationship with his uncle, and there's a poem that just kind of keeps getting recited. So yes, it is a tad repetitive, but I don't know, it unsettled me. I was freaked out the whole fucking movie. Like in a good way. I mean, I wasn't sitting there like, oh my God, what am I going to do with my life? No, it was just I couldn't stop watching the movie. I was just transfixed on how bizarre this flick was. And I thought the performances from both the guys, Sean Harris and whoever the other guy is, were just great. And the film, as I said, is so bleak. It's so drained of color. But somehow is really pretty and well done and well shot. I was really impressed by this. I didn't know what the hell to make of it. I didn't watch a trailer. I watched like 2 seconds of a trailer. But it's a tough one. I don't know how, metaphorical and all that. Like a film like this usually would be just like metaphorical and filled with subtext. And while I think there's some there, I think this one's just more about building really creepy ass atmosphere. It deals with some themes for sure. I mean, especially once you get to the end, you kind of figure out what's going on for the most part. But it kind of had a feel like Channel Zero, that kind of atmosphere. And, that's my favorite horror show on television. So that definitely worked for me. But it felt off the whole time. The music, while is used very sparingly, and as I said, there's very, very little dialogue in this film. This is not a film for everyone. It would be hard to recommend. And I know I say this a lot, but this one really is hard to recommend. But man, I had such a good time with it. And I hope people will check it out. I really do. It's on VOD right now. I absolutely think it's worth a shot if you're into slow burn, bizarre, creepy atmospheric flicks. Atmospheric flicks. That's hard to say. So has anyone out there seen it? I'd like to say thank you to Rebecca for renting this. We always share movies. I yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know how often I would watch this or if I would watch this again anytime soon, but I really dug the shit out of this, man. This I'm gonna have to readjust my top 20, I think, because this was really, really unique and needs more attention. And I hope more people will talk about it and pay attention to it because unique films like this should get some attention from horror fans. You guys always bitch there's nothing unique and original and whatever. Here you go. You might not like it, but at least it's its own fucking thing. I can't think of many movies I've seen like this. It had another feel like if you ever watched The Evil Within, it's very nightmarish. It feels like you're in a dream you don't want to be in, almost the entire film, if not the entire film. If you didn't see The Evil Within from last year, or maybe even 2 years ago now, absolutely watch the shit out of that movie. The movie's fucking weird. And if you're wondering why my camera's so close and why it's shaking a little bit, is because I had to redo things and my tripod and everything are put away, so I'm just holding my fucking camera. So I apologize for that. Hopefully I can get everything back up tomorrow, but I wanted to record a review and this is the best I had. But yeah, please let me know if you watch this, and I want to know what people think. I won't be shocked if people are like, this was fucking boring and what a waste of my time. But man, it's so fucking eerie. I can't imagine people feeling bored, but I don't know. I also think it's possible, hence why I'm mentioning it. So let me know if you check it out. I would go in blind if you can. And if you're not digging it like 20, 30 minutes in, I'd shut it off. Because that's kind of just how the film goes. It just kind of progresses from there in that way. It just gets a little creepier and creepier. But yeah, if it's not hooking you in fucking 20, 30 minutes, I'd can it. So anyway, guys, let me know if you check it out. All right.